In the May of 1984, two men by the names of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird introduced to the world 4 anthropomorphic teenage turtles, who knew ninjutsu. This was in the form of an independent comic. It was dark, it was gritty, it was violent. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Soon Eastman and Laird were receiving licensing deals for the Turtles, and a little over 3 years later, in 1987, because apparently I don't think you can do math, a Ninja Turtles animated series began to air. A little campy, a little punny, not as violent, and it was a hit. In a little less than 3 years after that, a live-action movie series came out, again proving the Turtles were a hit. Well, not the third one. What? Fine, the first one came out in 1990. Look, I'm not holding your hands whenever there's a math problem. However, in the later seasons of the Ninja Turtles cartoon, the tone was changed to be a bit more darker with an ongoing story arc. I believe X-Men's popularity was the reason for the change. Also, Rob Paulson left this series due to creative differences. The Ninja Turtles franchise was dying, and in 1996, CBS aired the last season of what is one of the longest running action cartoons. Unless you're comparing it to anime, then it's relatively short. However, 1 year later, Fox Kids picked out the pieces they wanted from the series and the movies and made something that was... Add your own personal one-word description of what you think this was. With that said, I'm Tunamp, I'm Tuned Up, and this is the history of Fox Kids. Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation. A series so panned that not even Nickelodeon wanted the rights to it when they bought the Ninja Turtles franchise. I'm sure there's more to it than just that when it comes to this series. So Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation. The series that says, remember what you love about the Ninja Turtles? Never mind. When Saban bought the rights to the Turtles, they must have only bought the rights to just the Turtles, Splinter, and the Shredder, because no one else from the Ninja Turtles universe shows up in the series. Although the rumor has it that April and Casey was supposed to show up in the second season. But there's no one from the comics, no one from the movies, video games, and other TV series. Even after the second episode, Shredder is hardly ever seen. Granted, that might be a good thing in this series. This was kind of supposed to be a loosely continuation of the movies. The only things that really carried over from the movies is some of the Turtles' personalities, which is a good thing. That and the set from the movies. We got Leo the leader, Donnie the brains, Raph the hothead, and Mikey the, what is Michelangelo? I guess the one with the catchphrases? Was that all he really was in the 1987 series? That and he liked pizza. I got it, he's the immature one in every series and the movies. But remove the catchphrases and his love for pizza and his surfer voice, you get a turtle that's kind of just there. Thank goodness for the 2012 series. Back to The Next Mutation, I guess we should talk about Venus? You know, the female turtle? I know this series gets all kinds of flack for making her curvy to indicate that she's a girl. But this isn't the first time that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series has done something like this. Mona Lisa, what was that? Venus was a very controversial character because she seems like she was only brought in because she was the only one that could take out the new villains with her special shinobi powers. Oh, shinobi. I miss the 90s. That and she was the romantic interest for the Turtles, who are now not brothers, so it's not weird. Just like Donnie's interest in April in the 2012 series isn't weird. Yeah, not weird at all. Actually, the whole part of Venus makes sense, because the 2012 series can get really creepy with this human-turtle-lizard relationships. So Venus makes kind of sense since she is the same species. Yeah, I'm kinda justifying her existence. Stop looking at me like that. There's also this running gag with her mispronouncing words and getting slang backwards, and the other turtles have to correct her. That got old quickly. That isn't even funny. It's so not funny that it wasn't funny when Xiao and Showdown did it. And I like Xiao and Showdown. Not Chronicles, Showdown. But there's another issue with Venus. The fans hated her. You know who else hated Venus? Peter Laird, one half of the creators of the Ninja Turtles. There is no real clear reason why Venus existed outside of, toy sales. Was she forced on the series by Fox? Was it Eastman, the other creator's idea? Or was it Saban's? Whatever the case, Laird hated Venus. And when he bought Eastman's half of the Turtles, he made sure no future projects involved her. Then there are the villains. Villains like Shredder, Krang, Baxter Stockman, Leatherhead, and the Rat King. Wait, what? None of them show up in the series? Well, Shredder showed up. He's given fantastic dialogue like this.
All of you were defeated by a single turtle and an arthritic rat?
Dude, you've been fighting the Turtles for at least 10 years now. Why are you surprised by this? And isn't it your responsibility to train your men? Their skills are a reflection of you. Most pathetic Shredder ever. No wonder he didn't last. And yeah, they dumped all the villains in favor of new ones. We get a mobster Bigfoot, Scott McNeil, and vampire Eye Candy. And then there's the Rank and their leader, the Dragon Lord. Is that his real name or just a title? Because if that is his real name, his parents had good foreshadowing. Oh, let's get to the acting and writing. This is Chunky. At least that is what it sounds like when Venus says his name.
Yes, Chunky. I'll prepare some immediately.
This is some of the dialogue Chunky has to say in the first episode.
As my adopted daughter and apprentice, the time has come for you to understand the mysteries of the glass.
Wow, that is some horrible exposition. That's like saying, as my sister's lover and my tax preparer, I need something to add to my returns. He could have done without the adopted daughter part. Then there is this.
Dragons! I am Chong-Yi, master of the eternal arts. I demand you release the ninja master. Respond!
What? Are you kidding me? You're yelling at someone who clearly has the upper hand, and you're pretty much banging on your chest as if you have any power in this situation. It would be as if I were to say to Cartoon Network, I am Toonamp, Uber cartoon reviewer. I demand you stop airing Teen Titans Go. Respond! Come to think of it, that is what a lot of people do on Twitter, don't they? You know what Cartoon Network would say? They would laugh and point out that it's the second or third most popular show on the network. They aren't going to stop airing it. But if this is the acting in the first episode, then we are in for a long series. We also have to talk about how cartoony this series is. The original comic, the movies, eventually the Archie comic, and later the 87 series were serious. We translate from the seriousness of the 87 series to whack, whack, whack. It's kind of the nature of Saban when adapting most anything. They want to cartoon it up, make it less serious. That is why we get a slide whistle when a foot soldier does this. Because of stuff like this, you can't take this series seriously. It tries too hard to be cool, and then goofy. It's a real turnoff because there is no balance. Also, from my understanding, they added the cartoon noises either after they moved the series from Fox Kids or during the series' second run, because that made it better? Also, why does part of the entrance theme from Sable from WWE play whenever they show the Turtles Humvee? Seriously, what is that? In the fall of 1997, Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation started to air on Friday afternoons on Fox Kids. The show was produced by Saban Entertainment. Now, Fox Kids really tried with this series. They aired it on Friday afternoons, but it didn't do that well. So Fox pushed back the premiere of Ned's Newt, which may not have been a bad thing, so they can air a repeat of Friday's episode on Saturdays so they can get those kids who missed it on Fridays. Then the series went back to being Friday exclusives the following February as a lead into Power Rangers in Space, with Fox hoping it would help the Turtles. Starting in April, the show started airing 5 days a week, for like 8 weeks before it was canceled. Speaking of Power Rangers in Space, we'll get to the crossover with the Ninja Turtles and that when I review Power Rangers in Space. Next Mutation never found its audience. And since Fox didn't own the rights to the series, they pulled the plug because they were not making as much money off the series, unlike the ones they actually owned. The Next Mutation will be known as the one Ninja Turtle show that failed. It is often forgotten, but is more remembered than the 2007 film. And that is because it's remembered for being so bad. It's also the one series that did not have a representative in the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. Although, that may not be the 2012 series' fault, as it may be because the rights to those characters goes to whoever has the rights to the show. Like what happened to the first live-action Tick series. Because that's not Deflator Mouse and American Made, those are completely different characters. Now, was Next Mutation as bad as everyone says? Well, yeah. It's a live-action turtle series that just forgot its other characters. It's too cartoony considering it's following the live-action movies. The acting is bad and Venus made me cringe a lot. It could have been worse. It could have been Masked Rider. They tried to ride the wave of popularity of the 1987 Turtles without being the 1987 Turtles. This is something that maybe should have waited. That 5-year wait after the cancellation of the Next Mutation was something the franchise really needed. After June of 1998, after 11 years on the air, for the first time, there were no new episodes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Next time on the History of Fox Kids, we will take a look at what could possibly be the shortest first-run series on Fox Kids. That wasn't a mini-series or special. Well, you knew something had to be. So that's our video. If you liked it, please hit the like and subscribe button. Also ring that bell for any future videos that I publish. You can find me on Facebook under TNAMP Art and Entertainment. Find me on Twitter under TNAMP Reviews. Find me on Tumblr and DeviantArt under TNAMP. Or support me on Patreon under TNAMP.